Hi. I guess you noticed that olive oil price is going up recently for every type of olive oil, every type of oil. Everything's going up. But olive oil, a little more so because the world community has been used to buying cheap olive oil. And suddenly, even the cheap is not cheap anymore. So what are we going to do? Well, it's time we talked about quality. It's time we talked about what's in the olive oil that makes it so special. Why is olive oil such a big deal? For thousands of years, it's been revered by religions, political systems, cultures, gastronomy. It's olive oil, olive oil, olive oil. And yet, very few people understand why olive oil is so special. So, take a minute. I'll explain to you real quick. First of all, olive oil has something unique inside. It has these micronutrients called biophenols, phenolic compounds. And these phenolic compounds are there to protect the plant from its pests, adverse weather conditions, lack of water, too much water. They regulate the surface area of the olive, and that's why they protect it from pests, because the fruit fly, it's hard to get into the olive itself if you can't cut through it. So the covering, the skin of the olive becomes much harder. So you can't penetrate it. That's what they use. That's what these phenolic compounds. That's why they're in plants. That's why they're in vine leaves. They're in olives. They're in vegetables, fruit, even some ancient grains like zea from ancient Greece. They have phenolic compounds in it. Again, to protect themselves from the natural enemies. Now, the problem is, as we developed and domesticated the olive trees and domesticated every fruit and vegetable there is, we stripped it of its vital micronutrients. And that's what happens to olive oil, and that's what happens to a lot of the fruit you consume. So, what do we do about that? Well, you do some research. You have to do some research. You have to learn a few things, because it takes a bit of study. Now, if you depend on somebody to tell you, oh, buy this, buy that, you're at their mercy. You can, I'll tell you, go buy this, go buy this, go buy this, because it's the best. Yeah, but research it. See, who is this guy, Athan? Why is he causing all the trouble in the olive oil industry? And you'll find out. Because I was introduced to this olive oil when I was 4 or 5 years old. Because this olive oil was our medicine back then. I'm talking about late 50s, early 60s, in Greece, northern Greece, in a village. This was our medicine. So whenever I had a teething and my gums were swollen, my grandmother would run down to the cellar, bring back a thimble. So this was so precious. You couldn't buy this olive oil. You had to get it from the producers as a gift. It was given. It was shared among family members and friends. It was a very special gift to give olive oil. It's this specific olive oil, which was early harvest, made when the olives were green. So it lost a lot of the volume, because you can't, green olives have less olive oil. The more they ripen, the more olive oil they have. That's why when you go green unripened olives, they cost a lot more, because you need a lot more olives. You need a lot more olives to harvest. You need a lot more trees, a lot more of everything. But the most important thing that olive oil has, among any other, it's the variety of uses. Not just its leaves or its fruit, but also its lumber. I mean, olive oil originally was wild olive trees, which were straight, like this. They're like pine, tall. But what happened is they start cutting them down. So as soon as they cut down the tree, then it grows out the side. Then there's another growth, so they keep intertwining, because they keep growing on the side. That's why these trees that you see now, they're so romantic, are actually deformed from continuous cutting. Some of them even have the face of the person who cut them. Yes, I can see the noses and the eyes and the lips. You can actually see, actually the tree actually identifies the person who did that to them. Now, I prefer olive oil, wild olive oil personally, but if it's a domesticated olive variety, fine. Just have to know which one, because each one is different. They're not the same. Because what I'm interested in phenolic content, specifically oleacanthalolase and lixoside-aglycon and oleopan-aglycon, those four. Those are the four horsemen of health and vitality. Okay. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.